I'll take you live now to Mr. Flack in Northwest DC. Flack, what's going on?
Hey Topper, we're at 600 Northeast DC on Rhode Island Avenue, where there were multiple water rescues that had to be carried out by DC Fire. Water recedes. We also have DC Fire and EMS on the scene of this development. If you know where the Alamo Draft House and Cinema is over here in Northeast, this is right outside of that. We believe we have some sort of a flooded elevator shaft. That water, if you can see it right there on the ground, really flowing still pretty quickly.
It's pouring out of the building.
It's pouring out of the building. Okay. Guard now seems to be almost going away just as quickly. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so you were looking at district dogs, and if you can ask James to pan back over to district dogs, we've done considerable reporting about this business in particular, which back in 2022, I'm looking at some of our previous reporting, flooded maybe 3 times in a month. So this area has really been prone to flooding.
I have to guess because the supervisors here are way too busy, I think, to talk to me right now. But it certainly seems like, and James is obviously giving you a different visual right now inside what's going on inside District Dogs as they try to. Wow, it does not look good in there. Some of the bystanders live without kind of. Oh, here comes the dog, James. Hey, here's some good news right
Puppy
here.
rescue.
Oh, that's
here's
terrific. 2 dogs.
Here's some heartwarming. Oh, wow, I just got chills.
Wow.
They're looking for the owners right now.
That's a terrific sight to see.
At least we can see a couple of them are okay, Eric. Yeah, and you can see, look at that looks like it might be the owner of the business. There's certainly people that work there just checking to make sure the dogs are okay. Oh, and looks like maybe he's reuniting them with their owners.
And they're obviously, those owners are obviously.
Oh, here
there's
comes
another
more.
one coming out,
Yeah.
a couple more coming out.
Great. And you consider the stress on this business right now. You see this dog with the leash, but are they able to access leashes for these dogs that they need to get out?
Yeah, they're literally, we're seeing this in real time as the firefighters and the rescuers are getting to these dogs, and you can see them getting them to the people who've been waiting for them, waiting for some sort of update since all of this happened. And there's got to be a lot of relief over there as each one of these dogs comes out and is reunited with their loved ones.
Is over.
So they're still
going.
And I don't
know. There's another dog that just came out. Multiple dogs. Another dog just came out. Sorry, James. I think that one's already gone. But there's another dog. I think I've counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe a half dozen dogs already.
On the scene, if they're being boarded because the owners are out of town. Now,
keep in mind, it would have been impossible.
Go ahead, Eric.
It would have been impossible. It would have been impossible for them to get here. I mean, they might have been able to,
that too.
Get as close as they could, park and run. But
here comes another one.
It's blocked off.
Eric, here comes another dog right here coming out, which is.
That dog's soaked.
Each time we see them, so as we're seeing them, and we've got to remember these dogs were likely in a flooded space. Yeah. They're in an area where they were were enclosed, right? And they look very traumatized. But certainly the best news of the day here is that they're able to get to them, and they're getting them out of that water. There's another 4 of them that have just come out. 5 more have come out.
James,
6.
yeah, here's a reunion going on right now, James. I don't know if you can get it, but I can see the tears in her eyes. And I think she was just reunited.
The best feeling.
Is this your little dog? Yeah, and they keep coming. There's another little one. There's another little one. And again, we don't know if these are the owners or just people who are trying to support these dogs.
Again, and you got to wonder if you're the owner of District Dogs, if you're going to want to keep having to undergo this. But when you see these little dogs come out, I mean, this is the best possible outcome after a really awful day there.
Flooded space to rescue as many dogs as you can.
There's another one. He's happy to come out of there.
And they're doing an amazing job. I mean, we've got at least a dozen or so dogs that have come out so far, Eric. And we just hope and pray for the best for all of the dogs that might still be
for all of them. We just don't know how. Yeah, Longo. We just don't know how far back they go. Here's 2 more coming out, 3 more coming out. I wish I had kept a count, but we have to be over 2 dozen. We just have to be at this point.
Yeah, it looks like it. A lot of people.
And to your point earlier, Eric, you said it was almost impossible for you to get to that scene. And so anyone who is seeing and hearing about this, trying to expedite their own journey to district dogs, it might take them quite some time.
Well, and James having that same knowledge. So, yeah, I think this story is just beginning down here. I think we're seeing the most heartwarming part of it right now. We're seeing these dramatic rescues as these bystanders just run up the street with them and try to remind them that it's all going to be okay.
And you're right, it's the same
you know, we said kudos.
I was going to say it's the same people
that's all I was going to say.
That's bringing them back and forth, but then there's a group of people who are just waiting, hoping, and praying that the next dog around the corner is theirs.
You know, and I'm watching them, Eric, too, because some of the people coming out don't have shoes on, and so it could be that some of these people were actually inside the building as well. And just when we think about flash floods and how fast the waters rise on the roads, they're rising that fast in this building too, so they've got to make split-second decisions about how to get the dogs to safety and how to get themselves to safety.
We still don't know the answer. I think that's that's all we know, is that some of these faces are bystanders and volunteers who...
And as these dogs continue to come out, I mean, it's really the best thing you can see, and certainly for the people that you just talked to, they're laser focused on making sure that they find their loved one.
I think they just found, I think that reunion just happened.
That's amazing.
And the look of concern on his face, I think that's when he came to the scene and he was there just waiting and wondering and watching.
Some run, now one just got loose, so we're all going to try to get him. Hey, buddy.
Catch him.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, they're scared.
Oh, at least they can funnel him right into where he's going.
He's a good dog. He knows.
We just have to make sure.
Going.
We'll just have to make sure, right? We'll just make sure no cars come.
We're going to reset things. So if you're just joining us, we've been covering dogs being rescued from the district dogs here in Northeast DC. We're going to pause for just 1 second, and we'll get right into the news at 6.
WUSA 9 Weather Watch Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.